My wife went to our neighbor and kissed him, but the truth is. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. True D-Day confession happened Thursday when my wife first tried to admit that she had been going to see the next door neighbor, the just a friend guy, and ended up kissing him once, and she felt so guilty. I didn't believe it. I knew from her actions and all the red flags that this affair started at least a month ago. She puked a couple times and then finally fessed up to having sex only that last time she went to his place. She has been to his apartment on at least 3 evenings. She showed me that they've only texted a few times. T-Mobile shows the truth to be nearly 1,000 times, with a couple 2, 3, 4 a.m. sessions that last about an hour. Yeah, sexting. The first time is when she tried to sneak out at 2 a.m. to help him with a sick kid. About half an hour, maybe more maybe less, but that was my first real oh shit moment. She met him first thing the next morning outside our door to walk dogs with him. The second time was to go visit with friends. She didn't say with whom or where, but I watched her walk into his place when she thought I wasn't looking. I walked to his apartment and all the lights were out. I knew it was real at that moment. I sat with my back against the wall of his bedroom. About an hour and a half later or so, she tried to sneak out his back door to hide her whereabouts. She saw me sitting in the grass and had the deer in the headlights look of panic, guilt and such. She had the nerve to sit next to me, but all I could smell was him and sex. She denied it and said there were other people there. No, there weren't. I had heavy thoughts of suicide that night. Heavy. I even tempted myself with 3 different methods. But thankfully that was temporary. The third and final time I know of is the only time she admitted to sex with him. It was the night after we discussed divorce. I had just thanked her for something and was being sweet. I was hoping I was wrong and all of this really was just as she said. I knew better, but I loved my wife with all my heart, and she was my best friend for 15 years. I wanted to believe her. Then I did something stupid. The AP was out of the area and she and I started having seemingly unguarded, vulnerable conversations about our relationship problems in the past, her current issues with what she perceives as bad with us, etc. She pushed all the right buttons to convince me she had never ever, even once, had sex with him, but did admit she was attracted to him. I told that if that was true, I wanted at least one good weekend with her, sex and all. But I wouldn't dare if she had already cheated on me with him. She was so fucking convincing. Tears, hugs, vulnerable talk and all. So we did. I even helped her pick out a new vibrator. I'm so damn stupid and naive. She did lie. She did cheat. She had sex with him more than the one time. When you know, you know. So many songs and poems have been written on this very subject. I know I'm not alone in this, but what I know is fresh and cannot be unknown now. Like many of you, I struggle with this every single moment of every single day and night. When I'm awake, I imagine them together, hear what they say about me. The self-deprecating thoughts of how she finds sex far more satisfying with him than it ever was with me. And when I sleep, the nightmares come. Often they are worse than when I'm awake. If I do have a moment of peaceful sleep, I wake up after only a few minutes and I realize that this is still real and all the air escapes me and I cannot breathe. We had just decided in March to really make an effort to be a better husband and wife and parents to our daughter. I worked my ass off to show my best self, opened myself vulnerably to her, and at first, so did she. But she met the fat, ugly dog guy next door and did a swift 180 on me. I was shocked. That was a month ago. She said the standard "he's just a friend" thing. She then told me she wanted me to move out because she wanted to be her own self for a while. I didn't understand because I hadn't done anything wrong that I was aware of. I've been the best husband I could ever be. But it was actually because of the sexual affair. I can't process this. I'm leaving to visit with family in Florida for 3 weeks to remove myself from the equation. Maybe get a better perspective on things. I don't know. I can't even look at her now. I don't know how to deal with loving her so deeply for 15 years and now feeling severe hatred, anger and disgust toward her in such a short time frame. It didn't have to end this way. Not like this. I loved you with all my heart. You were my best friend. Second story. I really just need to tell my story to somebody other than my therapist, and I'm too ashamed to divulge the details to my closest friends or family. I've known my ex-fiancé for 11 years. We dated on and off the first 5 years, while I was active duty military, and we had been together for the last 6 years. At the point of my end of active service, she showed interest in joining a branch of service and I supported the decision. I made sure she was prepared. We were planning on buying a house after she enlisted and settled in a bit, so I started to go through our finances. Got us out of all outstanding debt and worked on raising our credit scores to perfect. During that time I also purchased a brand new car for her, cash, as we were planning on starting a family this year. A month into her being at her unit she really started talking about marriage more frequently, so I decided to talk to her about setting a date. We did and told friends and family to be prepared for the RSVP in the mail. A month later I get a FaceTime call from her hanging out with some friends, 2 married couples and 3 other single friends, 2M, 1F. I had met all these people before. I was at my friend's house, a couple. She was stationed about a 13-hour drive from me and I was supposed to move there that month, already got a transfer from my job. At some point during the call while she was walking around having me greet everybody, one of the single males grabbed/hugged her rather inappropriately while greeting me. My friends also saw, embarrassing. They waited until the call ended and asked if I had seen anything strange. I replied yes, I saw. A few days later I drove up to move some stuff. I picked up her phone to make a call as it was within arm's length. The password was changed and for the first time in 6 years it was set to do not disturb. At first I ignored it, as I thought I was probably just in my head about everything. When I did ask later that night, she got extremely defensive. I was not confrontational. There were a lot of other small signs that something was off. We had sex that night. I think we were both unaware that she was already pregnant for the guy. The next day I told her that there are a lot of things to work through before we get married and suggested therapy. Did not go well. I packed the stuff I had brought and went home. I felt disgusted the whole time I was there for some reason and decided to just end it. She found out she was pregnant that same month and got married to the guy the month after to save face, I guess, haha. We were not trying for a baby and took proper precautions. She did however have unprotected sex with the guy that night of the FaceTime call and blamed alcohol, laughable. I warned her on multiple occasions about how easy infidelity is to stumble across in the military if you don't keep it together. She kept calling me saying I made the worst mistake of my life when she would be on duty/at work at 2/3 am, away from her husband. I blocked her from contacting me everywhere possible. It has been a year and I finally have my life back together. I am still working on my mental health, all that along with PTSD, severe anxiety and depression has been a challenge. But I have come a long way. I am stable, sober and happy. I have lived through 6 good friends from the military taking their own lives over the past 3 years and I could never have anyone feel the way I feel. I'm just happy I didn't get to a point where I considered that an option. If you read this, thank you for allowing me to release. I needed to share somewhere. Sorry for the choppy timeline, it's already a lot, haha, didn't want to make it even longer. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.